Hey everybody, it's Jackie with Jackie's Recent Things. Today we're going to be putting mesh on a teardrop frame. We're going to start off with some 21-inch mesh. This mesh that I'm using is a discontinued mesh from TMI Gifts. It's always important that when you're putting 21-inch mesh on the frame that you roll it this way, that you come over the top of the roll. It'll make your poofs look better. So when using the teardrop frame, we're going to get our ties kind of out of the way. We're going to start here and we're going to come across these two ties, like so. I have found that it's best to fill out the middle first. And because this frame is so large, we are going to be using a 12-inch poof. Now, just like any other frame, there's 8 ties on the top, 10 on the bottom, but there's these extra 2 in the center. So instead of 18 ties, there's 20. So now that you've come across the center, you're going to go around this form just like you would any other. I've had a lot of fun since these teardrops came out. It is a little bit different to design on these than a round frame. And I definitely like doing new things. These frames have only been out for about a year now. And I actually did the very first one that I did it live. I know you see this big gap right here. Don't worry about it. We'll get to that in a minute. So now that we've come all the way around, just like any other raised form, we're going to gather this up. Don't pull down. You want to leave a little bit of slack so you're not rolling your mesh down. And then you're going to continue around the bottom of the frame. And probably you're focused right now on what am I going to do with that big hole in the center. We're still continuing the 12-inch poofs around the bottom. You can purchase these frames at the Wreath Shop and Craft Outlet. So now that we've come all the way around to our last poof, I'm going to tie that in. And if you can't tie that in real tight, just use a zip tie to secure it. Now what we're going to do to fill in the center, we're going to fix our poofs. Now you can do this as you go. I just prefer to do it when I'm done, because I like to pull my poofs between each other to really fill the frame out. And to me, it just takes the same amount of time to do it either while I'm doing it or after. So it just kind of doesn't matter to me. So see how it's filled out now? By the way, this mesh, I know you can't tell. For some reason in the camera it looks purple, but it's actually blue and red. I just thought I'd let you know. So, see how we have the nice teardrop form? But we're really going to have that teardrop form because we're going to add some 10-inch mesh to finish filling this frame out. And I cut the 10-inch mesh 12 inches. So when I go around the bottom, my rolls are this way. And then there's a reason for that, which I will... What I'm doing is I'm creating a cradle for my ribbon on the bottom so my ribbon will lay better. And then once I get to the top, we'll do it differently. Craft Outlet shows a totally different way to put mesh on these. I would not do it. And I don't see very many people using these yet to make wreaths with. I think it's super fun. And it costs the same amount of money to ship this wreath as it does one in a 24-24-8 box. Alright, so this is the last one for the bottom, and now we're going to work on the top. So, my mesh is trying to roll back on me, so I'm going to utilize a little trick. And then on my mesh on the top, notice I took the curl and I went down with it. That's because I want my ruffle to lay as flat as possible so my ribbon will lay right. But what I'm going to do, because my mesh is trying to roll back, I'm going to take a little corner of my bottom poof. I'm going to pull it into my tie, lay my ruffle on top, and then tie it in. And that's going to prevent my mesh from rolling back. Also notice that I fix mine and I make sure they fold back. These frames being just a little bit larger are actually super fun because they allow you to add different goodies, more of them, with a little bit different placement. I kind of fell in love with them after the first time I used it. Make sure when you put your mesh on that you're pulling it down and you're securing it. You want your mesh to go to close as the frame as possible, but don't pull too tight because I have broke the ties before pulling too hard. Alright, so now we're going to deal with these two. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to ruffle that down. Now putting the ruffles on, really filled this frame out and gave it its teardrop shape and a really good foundation for you to make your wreath on. Because now it has its teardrop shape. Thank y'all so much for joining me. I can't wait to see what you create with this teardrop form. Bye, y'all.